Greetings, friend. I will show you how to solve this puzzle. It's round 8, puzzle 2, Sudoku Grand Prix, hosted by the United States. I'll explain all the Sudoku tips, tricks, and strategies as I do it. Click on the link below if you want to try the puzzle yourself. And with that, it's solving time. So this is a pretty neat looking puzzle here. So the Grand Prix, hosted by different countries. I did participate in round 8. I did a previous puzzle on this for round 1. This is round 2. Should still be a relatively simple puzzle. You want to, again, it's kind of nice that someone put, the 8 digits in these little blocks here to kind of do that theming for the 8. I like that. Where do you want to focus first? Well, you want to focus first is where can you put a digit in, right? So you got 9999 here, so this would be a 9. You also want to kind of take advantage of the amount of, of these rows, columns, and blocks that have multiple digits in it, because then there's a lot of restriction on what can be left there. So kind of keep that in mind as you're working through this solve. So I'm looking here, are there other digits that appear more than once? So you got the 5s and 5s. There's 2 spots for 5 there. Can't really do a solve with that yet. This 9 cuts across, and so does a 7. So this is actually a 7-9, be a hidden pair. I'm not going to mark it because I don't feel like I need to mark it for this level of puzzle. But we'll kind of move on and keep that in our working memory there. Okay, other things like how see how the 6 comes up. So the 6 cuts up. That means the 6 is one of those 2 spots. So that becomes a pointing pair, and then you have this 6 right here. So you can actually make a solve for 6 right there. And now with this 6, you can solve that for 6. So it's kind of nice when you see those types of things. You see how these are going into the solve. So same thing. I was looking at the 3 here. 3's got to be in one of those spots. So that means the 3's got to be in one of these 2 spots because it can't be any of those spots, which means you can solve this for 3 now. And so now you have kind of this naked triple cutting across there. 3, 3, and a 3. 3, one of those spots, one of those 2 spots. I can't solve that one yet. Looking more, you kind of notice what's missing in this block or column, and you'll see it's a 2 and an 8. So I noticed right away the 2's up there in block 3. So that means that has to be your 2, that has to be your 8. And now this 8 cutting across means an 8's got to be in one of these 2 spots. And so it's kind of making a pointing pair. But it's not a lot of 8s in this puzzle. It looks like there's no given 8s to begin with. Again, kind of part of that theming. But I do see that this 4 is right here, and the only spot I can go in block 3 is right there, which means you can solve that for 5. Kind of nice. And so now we have some restriction getting pulled on this block. We're missing an 8. We're missing a 1. Looks like we can't solve the 1 or the 8 just yet. What do we look across here? See that 4? We need a 4 and an 8 across row 3. So that's got to be your 4. That's got to be 8. So that's kind of how I'm seeing and solving this part. And so now I see looking at row 2, the 5 is missing in row 2. It can only be there, which means then I can solve that for an 8 pretty quick. And then if I look up here, I'm looking for 3, 7. There's my 7. So 7 and a 3. So that seems to be the theming here, is that you're going to look to these almost finished rows, columns, and blocks. They're called houses, and see if there's something you can do about that. Look across the top, 1, 2, 6. Not enough digits putting pressure on here for me to solve that right away. So now I'm going to kind of focus over and finish, maybe columns 2 and 3 here. Do we have anything in columns 2 and 3? So if you notice down here, you need 6 and an 8. 6 is already right there, so that's got to be your 8. This has got to be your 6. Okay, great. And now 8 cut across here puts this as a pointing pair 8. You have this 8 coming down, so 8s are limited to middle column here in block 5. We won't make that solve yet, but with another nice thing to see is this 8 cutting across is now a pointing pair right here. Hopefully you see that. And because the 8s are limited in column 9 to block 9, then you can solve this for an 8. It has to be an 8. And then what we see here, 1, 7, 9. Here's your 7, 9. So you know that's got to be a 1. That's going to be a naked single. And then this is going to be a 7, 9. We can't solve that yet, but we now have created a full house here, so we can solve that for a 1. Which is nice. And now this one and this one means we can solve this for a 1. Hopefully you're seeing how that works. Any more pressure we can put on this puzzle, do the 1s. No, but let's look here. Since we solved this 1, and you see the 8's down there, the 8's got to be in row 8 somewhere, so it has to be right here now. So we can solve that for the 8. We can solve this for the 6. So 6s and 8s are starting to kind of come into play there, being very helpful for us. All right. And now I'm going to look and see what are the 2 remaining spots here. Looking for a 2, and we're looking for a 5. There's no 2s or 5s that we can play into that and finish block 9 just yet. That's okay. But you notice this 8 cutting down. There's only 1 spot left for an 8 now in block 8. So we can make that call of an 8. Sweet. And then let's kind of look across. We need a 2 and a 5 across there. And we have this 5. So again, we can solve this for 2. Solve that for a 5. Now we can come down here and solve this for a 2. And we make the progress that way. What are these 2 cells remaining? I know one of them is a 7. So I'm using my peripheral. So I'm looking down here and I'm going, okay, where are my 2? I'm missing at least a 7. I see the 7. Bam. I'm going to mark that right away. And then this is going to be a 3. And now I have this full house. I like making links to my single cell solving methods video. And I'll put a link here. Because again, now when I see a full house, you know you always want to solve that first. And the reason being is you know what this cell is going to be. All you have to do is look at the other digits and whatever's missing, that's what it's going to be. And so now we can solve for an 8 right in the middle because we've gotten all these other 8s. What are we looking for here? 1, 3, 5. And so I look over and see, okay, 1, 3, 5 are all 3 separate places. Can't solve for that yet. So what's my place of the next greatest restriction? 1, 2, 6 across the top. Those are all different spots. Can't solve for that yet. So it's going to be these 7s. 7, 7, and this 7 means we can solve this for 7 here. And now we can finish the last 2 cells over in block 6. Okay, and so now we got 9, 9, 2 spots for 9 there. So we can't solve those yet for the 9. And you're looking, looks like a 1, 3, 9 cutting across row 5. Can't solve that yet. Let's look up here. So if you look here in column 5, you're missing a 1, 5, and a 6. Here's a 1 and a 6. So you know that's got to be your 5. And I see this 1 over here in row 6. You know that's got to be your 1, and then here's going to be your 6. And so we got the 6, and the 6. Good job there. What are these 2 spots remaining? We're looking for a 9 and a 4. I don't have the 9 and 4 yet to place, but we made quite a bit of progress here. I remember we had the 1, 2, and 6 here. So that means we can place this 6 right away. We place that 2 right away. And then now the 2, cutting in with these 2 2s, I'm going right back to cross-hatching because the quickest way to solve from this point would be to kind of get the cross-hatching going. So I'm going to kind of focus right here in block 5 and see if there's any other quick cross-hatches I can do. And I sure see one. You see how the 5s are coming in here and here? Means that has to be a 5. And then I'm seeing a 4 and a 4, so this has to be a 4. And you know, now I know I can finish up this block because I just got that 4 in there. So there's your 4 and there's your 9. And then come back over here and I already know that there's no 9 in block 5 and I just solved this 9, so I know that has to be the full house. Alright, so 2 spots left. We're looking for a 1 and a 3. Here's my 3. So 3, 1, and now I got a 1 and a 1, so I know that's going to be the 1 for that. And I remember this was a 1, 3, 5, and so this is going to be a 3, and then our last digit is a 5. If you want to see some other cool solving from the World Sudoku Grand Prix, check out these other videos from my channel. Don't forget to buy me a coffee link. I appreciate your support. Thank you so much for watching.